How's it going, MoshPit? I figured we could have a little fun in the sun today, featuring a slap-together sunny day team, you know, featuring some stuff that benefits from sun and whatnot. So, I saw in his team preview he had a Golduck, you know, specifically there just to negate weather. So I led with my Victini, so that way he wouldn't negate my Drought and I could get it up later, and it wouldn't be that much of a useless thing there. But he turns out to be a Scarf Golduck. He's going to hit me with the Scald. It actually does a decent amount, but it turns out I live from it, and because I'm a physical Victini, I'm going to hit him with the Wild Charge and one-shot him, which is great, because now that Golduck's out of the way, I can get my weather up safely without having him coming in and negating it. But because of recoil and Life Orb and all that, you know, I'm almost going to die. But he brings in Primeape, and I'm actually glad I didn't, because now that means he has to lock himself in on something. So he chooses Ice Punch, because that'll take me out. In reality, he could have picked just about anything, and I would have had something for it. But since he picked Ice Punch, I feel pretty safe coming in with Ninetales and getting my weather set up. So I'm gonna go for a Solar Beam, expecting him to switch out not to something that would be weak to fire, very obviously. He switches out to a Chandelure, which would actually be immune to the Flamethrower, but the Solar Beam's not gonna hit it that hard anyway. This set's kind of, I don't know, I should put Dark Pulse on this thing over Nasty Plot and like put Life Orb on it. There's a bunch of pokes on my team that are still trapped between generations. They have like 5th gen tweaks but still 4th gen sets, so they don't really work out. But for now I switch out Ninetales, switch in Tauros on the Shadow Ball, and that's cool. So I got the Tauros in safely, and he stays in as I Earthquake. Now the thing I didn't really understand is he has a Gyarados, so I don't understand why he didn't go out to it, you know, for the Intimidate and the immunity to Earthquake. I guess he was scared of the Rock Slide, which, so, you know, I probably could have taken it out either way. So, I don't know, just my 2 cents there. But I got to switch out, fearing the close combat, because it's Scarfed and whatnot. So I go to Venusaur to resist it, but he actually goes for the Ice Punch. Very good play. I don't take that very nicely. But since I do have a 5th gen Venusaur, there's a potential that I have Chlorophyll on it. Since it's on a sunny day team, I do have Chlorophyll on it. But because it's got a 5th gen ability, and how I mentioned a couple of my things are trapped between generations, this thing still has Leaf Storm instead of Solar Beam. But it has Growth, since this Venusaur was designed to operate by itself. So it's got a solo set on a sunny day team, which doesn't really work out too well for me here. I still have to tweak a lot of the stuff on this team, but it still led for a good match. So I'm going to go for Growth in the sun, in case you have not been filled in on this. Growth's mechanics have changed in the sun, as a matter of fact. So it's a Swords Dance and a Nasty Plot when the sun's up, because plants are awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get another Growth. Honestly, I'm just Growthing just so he can kill me off, because I have nothing that can touch Notori, and I need a safe switch into it. So he Gyro Balls, takes me out. At least I was at some ridiculously high stats before he killed me off. But I get to switch in my Cast Form. Dude, how often do you see this? It's amazing. So I get the forecast going on, so my type is now Fire. My Weather Ball is now Fire. So I get Stab on that Weather Ball. Weather Ball's damage base power goes up to 100. With Stab, it is up to 150. And with a Choice Specs Cast Form using Weather Ball, it's actually going to be enough to take out this Gyara from half health. Probably would have taken it out from a little more, too. You know, boosted by the sun and whatnot. That's very good. So, in comes Primeape. I got 1 kill more than I thought I was going to, so I left it in to die. But he goes for the U-turn, and he gets a crit on it. Doesn't really matter at all. But since he went for the U-turn and over-predicted, he's got to send in something else to take the Weather Ball. He figures his best option is going to be Reuniclus. As I go for the Weather Ball in the sun, since I'm Choice Specs, this actually does a surprising amount of damage, you know, given a Cast Form. I didn't really expect much from it. So I actually 2-shot it, since I turn out to be faster than it. I have like base, I don't know what my stats are, like base 80, base 70, base 60, I don't know, and everything. So it's not really worth using, but it's funny to see. So he brings in Primeape. He's not going to over-predict again, but I killed off 2 things. So good job, Cast Form. Probably going to be one of the only times I end up using you, but that was pretty fun. So he's locked in on Earthquake, and I figure I'll bring in Exeggutor as he goes to his Notori. I'm going to go for the safe Psychic, despite him having that, because damage is damage. I'm not one to complain. This is also another poke that is trapped in 4th gen, since I still have Explosion on the 4th slot, which really doesn't do much good for me at all. And you know, the sleep powder misses, which really sucks, and he's going to go for the gyro ball thanks to the chlorophyll. It's going to hurt twice as much more as it normally would. You know, that's, well, not twice as much more exactly, but, you know, my speed is doubled, so gyro ball's going to hurt more. So I go for the sleep powder. If he saw that on the last turn, I'm thinking he could have gone to Primeape, because I think Primeape gets Vital Spirit, or I think it does. Whatever. Ignore me if it doesn't, but I'm pretty sure it does. Anyways, I put the Notori to sleep. I can't do anything to it. So I figure while it's asleep, I'm going to switch out to my Ninetales. And assuming he didn't switch out here, something's going to die. You know, I'm going to torch this thing, or when his Primeape switches in, I'll torch that. So he's got those two options, and we'll just wait for after turn effects a little bit. He decides to leave it in, and that was the smarter play there, since, you know, if you switch out to Primeape, what is a sleeping Notori going to do against a Ninetales? So leaves it in to die. Thankfully, that worked out good for me. But the score's 3-1, so he's got this Primeape, and he's got to pick a move to lock himself in on, and it's going to have to work out for him. But since I do predict it being close combat, that's a stab that would benefit him best. It wouldn't do too much damage against Exeggutor, but against my other two Pokemon, it would be the preferred modus operandi for him to try to pick up the match. So he's going to end up taking me out as I bring it in as fodder. I bring in Exeggutor. I was under the impression that I could outspeed in the sun, but unfortunately Exeggutor caps. I think if you go Timid, it has a base speed of 55, and after Chlorophyll, you know, on a Scarf, I'm assuming this is a Jolly Scarf Primeape, you know, I wouldn't be able to outspeed it at all, so that was a little bit of a mistake. But he actually takes me out with a close combat crit. I was kind of banking on him not getting a crit. You know, that's generally how the match tends to go. So it's pretty much a good game at this point, except for the fact that I lived the close combat. I don't even know how the hell that happened. That's probably because he's Jolly, as a matter of fact. I'm pretty sure Adamant would have taken me out. Or he might have gotten Min on Jolly. I don't know. I don't do damage calcs. But it looks to me like he was Jolly. So thanks to the close combat, special defense drops, and the boosted sun and all that, you know, it's going to be a unquestionable one-hit KO. So that was a really fun match. You know, I got to use Tauros and Castform in that match. Not bad. So, rate, comment, sub, do your things. Both links description if I can find them. And I will see you guys later. Peace.